Hello everyone and welcome to another Divine Gaming video. Today we are going to be talking about HyperScape, Ubisoft's brand new, fast-paced FPS Battle Royale game. Now we have a ton of new information here that's being leaked over on Twitter by a ton of people, YouTube videos, all sorts of stuff. We are going to be bringing you it all in this one single video, so drop a like and subscribe to this channel for all of the HyperScape content that you could imagine. Now to start, let's hop straight into it by talking about when we are going to get our first gameplay. So it has been leaked by Slasher on Twitter that July 2nd is whenever we're going to be able to see streamers playing the game. So streamers embargo is going to be lifted on July 2nd, which means they're going to be able to play, we will be able to interact, see what the game is like, and then 10 days after that, on July 12th, the full game will release. Now there is a slight little hiccup with this release though, and I'll explain that in a second with this quote from Slasher. HyperScape is a free-to-play Battle Royale FPS set in a futuristic virtual world for both PC and consoles, with the console launch coming later this year including Crossplay. HyperScape goes into closed beta next week with open beta and full launch of the game on July 12th. Now this means that console won't actually be playable until later this year, but we will see crossplay being a thing in this game. What this means is that if you have a friend on Xbox but you are on PC, you are going to be able to play with them. This is actually a very interesting decision made by Ubisoft because we have seen a lot of issues, especially recently with crossplay and some other battle royales, especially games like Fortnite and their whole aim assist argument. It's always going to be a push and pull between controller and keyboard and mouse players. Some people are going to think that the aim assist is too strong and not fair. Others are going to think that it's not strong enough and not fair, and it will always be a thing. So it will be interesting to see how a first-person shooter handles the fact that keyboard and mouse will be playing against console. Now, if you don't know, having a keyboard and mouse automatically puts you at a huge advantage against your average console player, so hopefully they can do a good job of ironing this out, especially if there ends up being some sort of esports scene and tournaments that both players are competing in, because this could turn into a huge mistake on the end of Ubisoft, but we'll just find out later on. Again, console won't be playable until later this year. Another interesting release thing, I would have personally expected them to release console and PC at the same time, but is not going to be looking that way. Now, doing crossplay well is going to be essential to the success of HyperScape because we all know Xbox, PS4 all have huge audiences that don't own computers, but computer side is still going to be very strong in the game. Now, another thing that is in HyperScape that is completely unique to HyperScape and is in not a single other game on the market is its integration with Twitch. So another quote from Slasher's Twitter, Twitch chat will, among other things, be able to directly impact the game live with game-changing events. So that means that HyperScape and Twitch have teamed up, and that you will be able to actually interact with the game through Twitch chat. Now, here in this picture, we do see an image of exactly what this looks like. In the image, we see Moon Gravity, Speed Up, and Health Crystal all being voted on by Twitch chat. On the right side, we see Ninja's old Twitch chat, an interesting option for them to use, but I assume you would type a 1, a 2, or 3 in chat to decide what that streamer is going to get. Now, with this brought some controversy within our Twitter comments because players are wondering, are Twitch streamers going to automatically be at an advantage? Now, with their viewers voting on what items they're going to get, how is an average player going to get these items? It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out, because if streamers are getting advantages within the game, I can guarantee that is not going to go over well with the community. There are going to be riots in the streets if they allow streamers to have automatic better loot, better abilities. That will be absolutely detrimental to this game. Now, there is more in this picture. We see revenue on in-extension bit purchases. Every time a viewer purchases Twitch bits when watching your HyperScape stream, you get a share of the amount. There's also motivations for viewers to subscribe. You can decide to open squad invite to subscribers only, and then your subscribers get triple vote when voting on GM cards. I don't know what that means. It seems like Game Master cards, which makes me think it's somewhat Darwin Project-like, but that's for another video. We'll explain that later. But this integration with Twitch is either going to be a really good or a really bad thing, and here's why. It could be really good because it is going to put an emphasis on making streamers want to play the game. They're obviously going to be making more money than if they were to play a different game, especially since there are all of these new integrations happening. But it could also be really, really bad. If the game becomes dominated by Twitch streamers and they have some sort of advantage over normal players, players are not going to like this, and it is going to go downhill very, very quickly. Now again, these Game Master cards that subscribers will vote on, that's for another video. We'll talk about that, but to summarize it, it seems like there might be a player that kind of affects the game while they are playing. So almost a third-person view like we saw in the original image that's able to go around the map and maybe mess with players, speed them up, add moon gravity. Maybe it's not even going to be actual streamers getting the advantages, but maybe it's going to be players within their games. I don't know. We'll see, but so far, this is all that we know. We're going to get a ton more information coming July 2nd. It's going to be unreal what we find out then, so you all need to be subscribed in order to keep up with that, because July 2nd, content is going to be going through the roof, and if you're not here, you're going to miss it. I appreciate you all for watching through this entire video. Hopefully, you all did enjoy and learn some more about HyperScape, this brand new battle royale. It is set in a futuristic world. Let's see if it does bode well with the community, and I will see you in the next video.